including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men.
Y'all don't understand what the is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the fucking industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked this shit? I just cracked this whole shit. Crack. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over.
So it looks like Nicki Minaj was in line when she said Jay-Z and his shady Roc Nation unit are out here silencing people and blackballing artists for refusing to sign to them because Tory Lanez just got violently stabbed in jail 14 times. And now he's in the hospital fighting for his life, and word on the street is Roc Nation ordered the hit. What's even more interesting is that this is happening right when the Diddy trial is starting, because not too long ago, it was alleged that Tory had some inside scoop about Jay's affiliations to Diddy and that he was gonna sing if Jay didn't get him out of jail. In fact, Tory's father, Sunstar Peterson, was the one pushing this narrative, and it looks like he wasn't lying, because right after he exposed Jay, his son was thrown in jail, and now he is in the hospital fighting for his life with multiple stab wounds. Now, as y'all know, Tory is currently in jail serving a 10-year sentence after he was found guilty for Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. The entire thing happened while Meg, her bestie Kelsey, and Tory were on their way back from a party at Kylie's house. While they were driving back home, Meg and Tory got into a heated argument about him flirting with Kylie, and things ended up getting out of control. Somewhere along the way, Megan told the driver to stop the car so she could get out, and right when she did, Tory pulled out a gun and shot her twice in the foot, yelling, "Dance, bitch."
Here's this man screaming, he said, "Dance," and he started, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he a couple of times.
From the CCTV footage, Meg could be seen walking out of her car with her hands in the air while bleeding after a neighbor who heard the shots called the police.
And I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said, I stepped on glass.
But while Megan was busy trying to protect the man who literally almost ended her life, Tory was running his mouth and trying to profit off the scandal. This pissed Megan off, and she later exposed him during an explosive Instagram rant.
This nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying.
He was charged with 3 felonies, including discharging a firearm with gross negligence, a semi-automatic firearm, and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle. Prior to the sentencing, there was a lot of talk about who actually did the shooting, because some people were convinced that Kelsey was the one who pulled the trigger, even though Meg came on the internet and explicitly accused Tory of being the one who shot her. Now, the reason why a lot of people were convinced that Tory was being set up and that Kelsey was the one who actually shot Meg was because one of the witnesses, who claims to have seen the whole thing go down, was not allowed to testify in court, and the reasons for his disqualification as a witness was very shady and didn't make sense to a lot of people. If he was allowed to testify, it could have really changed the trajectory of the case in Tory's favor. Now, even though he wasn't able to testify in court, he still gave us a rundown of his version of the events, and I'm about to read to y'all so y'all can judge it for yourselves. He said, "I pulled over to stop them. Miss Pete and Miss Harris both got out of the vehicle and continued to fight, both verbally and physically. I broke up this fight and was pulling Miss Pete toward the back of the car. I saw Miss Harris with a gun in her hand. Mr. Peterson ran from behind Miss Pete and myself toward Miss Harris. Mr. Peterson and Miss Harris began struggling as Mr. Peterson tried to unarm Miss Harris. I was still pulling Miss Pete and did not see who shot the weapon. I was lucky I was not harmed, and in my opinion, Miss Pete was also fortunate. The whole incident happened so quickly within just a couple of minutes. I wanted to present the evidence during Mr. Peterson's trial, but was prevented from doing so as the district attorney was not ready to cross-examine me. And later they did not call me due to the holidays and the court schedule. I believe I should have been allowed to present this evidence at trial." So from what he's saying, he was insinuating that Kelsey was the last person he saw holding the when it went off, but Megan claims Tory shot her. So which is which? And if y'all remember, Tori's father, Sunstar Peterson, caused a scene outside of the courthouse when Tori was sentenced. He went off on Jay-Z for pulling strings to get Tori imprisoned. He blasted Jay-Z for selling the souls of young men in the industry to boost his career and the careers of the people he signed to his management company, and then turn around to make it look like he is the savior of the community when he's really the one causing all the chaos.
And the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded
They are
and
children.
bartered the souls
That's
of
it.
young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They
on Saturday.
met with our
Saturday
witness.
night.
And then the man came back,
He can't
and I
remember.
sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this.
And now some of y'all might be wondering why Jay will put this much effort into destroying Tori in the first place. Well, word on the street is because he tried to get Tori to sign to Roc Nation. But things ended up going really bad behind the scenes, and he has had it out for Tori since. Allegedly, Jay didn't plan on using Meg to get back at Tori, but once that situation came up, he convinced Meg to sign with Roc Nation, and from that point, they used all their resources to bury Tori. In fact, even before Tori went to trial, the industry was going on a major campaign to destroy him, and people now believe Roc Nation had something to do with it. His music was getting pulled down from all the major streaming platforms, and they completely cut him out from getting any playlisting too.
People don't understand my music right now. The platforms got it in a way where when you look at my when you look at the homepage of these platforms, you can't even find my music. You can't find it nowhere. It's as if I never even dropped nothing. So in order for people to actually have my music chart anywhere, they got to go search for it and individually look for my name and all kind of stuff like that. And it's crazy because they brought it to #1. But I just asked, like, at some point, when does this not seem to be unfair to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like y'all are treating me as somebody that y'all think I am and not treating me as the person that I actually am. And that's not fair. Y'all don't know my life. Y'all know my music. My music is on the top of charts, which means there's a demand for my music. If there's a demand for my music, it's y'all job to curate that music to the people there's a demand from. That's all I ask, is treat me fairly.
And just when we thought things couldn't get any messier, Meg got into a nasty legal battle between Tori and his father over them paying the blogger, Milagro Grams, to post fake stories about her. It's unclear just how true this is, but Meg presented evidence that proves that Milagros had received up to $3,000 from Tori's dad between 2020 and 2022 via Zelle. Tori's dad never addressed these rumors, but he made a video saying he forgave Megan for allowing herself to be a pawn used by Roc Nation to get his son locked up. He said even though Meg destroyed his son's life and got him locked away for a decade, he and his entire family forgives her and they hold no grudges whatsoever.
Right here and say this, and this might come as a shock to many of you. But guess what? Both my son, myself, and others of our family have long decided that we are not going to hold any animosity against Megan Pete, aka Megan Thee Stallion. We forgave that girl long time ago, because again, we know that the principle of forgiveness is important in order to cleanse one's heart, to cleanse one's soul, and to not be, bound up with hatred and hatred, trust me, resentment, bitterness, those things can actually cause diseases of the bones. It has been proven. And let me stop right here and say this, and it can cause sickness in your body. because you're holding on to something that is negative against the real life force in your life.
He probably thought that this little forgiveness act he was putting on was gonna make the people trying to destroy Tory have a little mercy on him, but boy was he wrong. As we speak, Tory is in the hospital fighting for his life after he got stabbed by an inmate while he was out in the field. The police claim they don't know what the motive of the attack was, but people are convinced that Jay put out the attack on Tory as a warning for him to shut up. The reason why people are convinced that this was a warning is because, according to the police, his injuries weren't life-threatening. But we all know that if they really wanted to take him out, he wouldn't be alive today. Now, despite the police claiming that the stabbing wasn't life-threatening, his team put out a statement that said the opposite. It turns out that he wasn't just stabbed once, he was stabbed 14 times. The statement read, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own despite being in pain. He is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for the continued prayers and support. Now, of course, all of this is alleged, so we can't outright accuse Jay of being behind the hit, but the streets have been talking and everyone seems to believe that Jay and the entire Roc Nation unit was behind the hit. One person posted some letters that Tory had written from jail about Jay being a Satanist, and they said, so something didn't quite add up. Tory Lanez was exposing Jay-Z when all of this happened and Roc Nation tried to silence him. Megan Thee Stallion signed with Roc Nation, things that make you go, And here's another crazy thing. Prodigy went to jail for exposing Jay-Z and a host of other things. He actually wrote a letter from jail exposing Jay-Z and how big of a Satanist he is, and uses symbolism, etc. Such a dirty game. I posted the letters below. I keep receipts. Another person said Tory Lanez went independent and Jay-Z offered him millions to sign with Roc Nation, but he declined because he knew how labels were stealing from the culture, only for Roc Nation to frame him later. Jay-Z is not for the culture. He is a like Diddy.
Some people bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand. One of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000, 60,000. Yo, my nigga, and these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand what the is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked this? I just cracked this whole shit. Crack. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over. It's over. No more middleman. All y'all artists out there, fuck your label. Fuck the nigga that's telling you, yo, you gotta wait for this day on Spotify and on this. Fuck that. It's over. Y'all gonna get paid. And your fans gonna get paid. And they gonna keep coming to you. Why? Because y'all making money together. This the digital trap house. Welcome.
But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Tory exposing Jay-Z and Roc Nation? And do y'all believe they put a hit on him as a warning to stop talking? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.